Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. It's a gorgeous Monday here in BC. And I've recently returned from a trip to Puerto Vallarta where I was delivering a keynote address to medical doctors, actually cardiologists and osteologists, bone doctors, and heart doctors, to talk about the merits of creativity and science and at the intersection of science and medicine. And this is just something I love to do because my brain just refuses to stay within the parameters of normal function, I guess maybe is a way to say that. But so as an example, because several people have been asking, what does that even mean? What it means is I look at the evolutionary process and then I kind of break that down into how we as humans are different from the rest of the animal kingdom in terms of how we deal with those basic aspects of survival and reproduction. And one paper in particular was from Science, the journal Science, a few years ago, was looking at heart function, cardiac function in Burmese pythons. And these are the massive snakes that don't eat all that often. And when they do eat, it could be a huge meal. Of course, some large mammals can end up in the digestive tracts of these big snakes. And scientists found that their heart volume actually increases by about 40% within 48 to 72 hours after they have a massive meal. And to compare that to a mammal, like us, for example, that could only potentially ever increase our heart volume by about 10%, and this is after weeks and weeks of sustained stimulus. And now we have this reptile that is actually changing their heart volumes rapidly in comparison. So looking at how we can then use these strange things that extreme animal systems have evolved to figure out, to function in terms of, and perhaps apply those to medicine. And so to further that thought, scientists have now actually isolated a bunch of fatty acid compounds from the snakes, have injected those into mice. Now we're going from a reptile to a mammal. And it's actually shown to increase the heart volume of the mice as well. And what's particularly compelling about it is that the heart cells, so the myocytes, the muscle cells in the heart, are getting larger. They're not proliferating. So we're not talking about more cells. We're just talking about a growth within the cells that are already there. And fatty acids are not deposited around the heart, which is, of course, a huge problem for humans. And so elucidating what's happening in these animals is potentially groundbreaking for discovering new ways that we can make ourselves better. And cardiac arrest and fat deposition around the heart is an extremely big problem for our species. I love to play around with ideas like this, just kind of throwing it out there. I mean, it takes a crazy person to perhaps draw parallels where parallels were not drawn before. And that's where innovation can really happen. And that's where I'm thrilled to be able to just give talks about these kinds of ideas and just play. The philosophical person in me is very thankful for that. Have a great week, everyone.